Hello?
Um, can I step on these? I don't even remember that Tungdale goes in here alone. Maybe I should tell the others? I don't know. Can I just want to save, just in case something happens. What do you do for a living? Currently I'm having a part-time job, in an HR department. Yeah, because that kind of made sense after my studies. Can't I go up there? Ooh, you see that? Something. Get the pool light.
Master Garen?
Oh.
Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you.
That's a creepy place. Why would you even think that that's all your task?
My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Greenglade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Greenglade.
Oh, great. That's right. Are you thinking of Twitch stream as a full-time job? Finally an English stream. My pleasure, man. Grainwald, welcome to the stream. Yes, and I know I'm not not a native English speaker, but I still wanted to play this in English and stream it in English. And do you think, or are you thinking of becoming a Twitch streamer as a full-time job? The thing is, I'm not thinking about this, just because I think it's very hard to do nowadays. Unless you're a little bit lucky, unless you really dedicate yourself to it. And yeah, I just think if this would ever turn out to be a thing that I could.
Useful. An eternal flame. I know who taught him that.
If it would ever turn out to be a thing that I could do, I would definitely go for it.
You see sketches
Yes.
and notes on the architectural features, statues and wall reliefs. It seems Garen spent a lot of time studying this place.
Maybe he's a kind of a dwarf historian, or maybe he's just a treasure hunter.
Maybe, or maybe not. And Grindwald, have you read the book? Or the books?
Garen is in Greenglade to visit his sunshine.
This game.
He's in Gauragat. We can't have fallen in love with a pointy here, can he?
Ooh. So we're going to see some elves. Maybe. Wait, game? Oh.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Light the brazier. I don't know if I should do this all on my own. Maybe I should look for the brothers. Oh, their weapons.
A series of weapons that are all clearly of dwarven origin. The spider webs and rust suggest they have been here for quite a while. Maybe even centuries.
Okay, let's light all of these fires. I don't know if I can go upstairs. It doesn't seem like I can. So you're just interested in a game, and you know it's based on a book series. Yes, off of a book series. Yes, it is. Yeah, man, that would be so cool if just Twitch would be like, hey man, we're pleased with your streaming. Let us throw money at you, okay? That seems like a thing. That would be totally cool. Then you woke up. Uh-oh. A rune. Wait, but there wasn't a rune, or I couldn't read the runes. Maybe I just need to light them all up. I'm kind of thinking, let me quickly save here. I'm kind of thinking that I need to get the brothers for this, but let's try it out. Oh, There's a wrong. Oh, you need to do them in order. Okay. Was the first one still lit up? I did this? No. Oh, maybe you need all four. Maybe you need 4 people. No, this stays on. Now this. Probably know this, right? I know my luck. Okay. Twitch Inc. Okay, so what is going to happen next? I honestly can't remember. Probably something bad.
Ah, that's it. Garen's most valuable belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her.
Take the medallion with you. Yes. It might be haunted, but never bad to have these things. Okay, let me take a look at this. 10% chance of 10% chance to regenerate 10% health during a successful attack. That's kind of cool. I think Boindeel needs this, my friend. Examine the runes on the basin.
Born of stone, forged in battle. Arise, reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
So that seems like we did everything we can in here. Oh, there's another brazier. Didn't even see it. Now I do. Oh.
Thirdlings, the fortress belongs to the dwarf haters.
Yeah. So if you don't know, there are basically 5 dwarf clans, and the thirdlings, as they're called here, they're the dwarf haters. I don't want to tell the reason for this because it would spoil like 2 or 3 books.
It looks as though Garen lived in the fortress for a while. It also seems that he left several lunar orbits ago.
Take some of the provisions with. Wait, is that a typo? Take some of the provisions with you, right? Or take. No, it doesn't matter.
Stealing, it would just be a shame if the provisions went off.
Correct. You, sir, are correct. Tangdil Boulevard, the wise scholar of Lotionen. Hammond?
Graves. Could be buried here.
Apparently no one important. Okay, one last glance around. Seems good. Okay, let's go to the dwarves. The brothers. This game's prices, I wanted to get a good look at it. Wait, why isn't my wait a second? Via streaming. Okay, it just cut out the word. Yes. I don't know. The game I think it is kind of comparable to Dragon Age in a way, at least from the battle style, the fighting style. And yes, the game is pricey. I bought it off of a site, which you wait. I don't want to be a sellout, but it's almost half of the price. So if you want it, you can use the link. You don't have to, but yeah, I just wanted to try it out because I love the books. And I couldn't pre-order it through Steam, so I wanted to be sure that I have it on time. So I pre-ordered it from the site. So yeah, this is why I used it.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There is an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the thirdlings.
Boindill's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers! A thirdling fortress, here, in the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Greenglade.
Huh. What does the High King really want from me? That is the most important question, I think, that you can ask.
Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne. But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
What have I got to do with that? How could I stop Gandagar?
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindill is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindill has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
Why does Gandagar want to attack the
What
elves?
does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Brachus and Satalia made us that way.
I know that, but going to war for just that after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the king of the Fourthlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
Yep, he kinda is.
Thirdling Fortress, here, in the heart of Girdlegard. That's
New followers.
Oh,
But
F.
they've always
Kaminsky,
been
thank you
wild.
for following.
They move
Thank you,
in
man.
the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor,
I will answer you
rejected the
endlessly.
name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talent, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Greenglade.
But our quest is...
Boindill raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.
Indeed. Will you do a full playthrough of this game? Yes, I am planning on it. I don't know how long the game will be. I've read many different like hour numbers, so I'm not sure how long it actually lasts. But yes, I want to play, do a full playthrough, but not today. But yeah, we'll probably stream tomorrow. Yeah, and I want to continue this. And yeah, thanks again, F. Kaminsky, or just Kaminsky. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you so much for the follow. I really do appreciate that. So, we have to go to Greenglade. Okay. Okay, I want to go to Steeplen first, but why can't I... Greenglade is here, right? Somewhere here? No, it's up here. Okay, this is how good I know these maps.
By the evening campfire, Boindill rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindill holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too.
Yes, but he will soon love the cheese. Let me actually up the speech volume a bit, because I think it might be hard to understand for you guys. Okay, let's see if we actually did the quest.
Traces of the attack on Steepleton can still be seen, but the repair work is coming on well.
The repair work is coming on well. Whoa. So we can't do any quest here? Okay, we still have enough provisions. So, we haven't been to the tavern. So let's go there, then to this question mark. Yeah, we still have time.
While
That's all
taking
good.
a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
60 would be sufficient?
I
Okay,
was wondering,
change it.
what do female dwarves look like?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
Yeah,
And what do they do? I
very
mean,
attractive.
are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
Yes, the fluff. Very attractive in a woman. 60. And let's save this, just in case.
You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep."
Duh. Stay where you are and observe the surroundings. Enter the tavern, ignore the tavern, and continue on your journey. Nope, we are entering
You
it.
enter the tavern with a determined stride,
Yes!
and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks.
These racist bastards! Gain an overview of the other guests.
In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages.
I think the game just crashed once again. There's a lot of... I don't know how this will change or not change in the future, but there's a lot of...
You arrive at a
a lot of
crossroads with a
story,
tavern on the corner.
not so much
A warm
battle.
light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture. You enter the tavern with... In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages. Boindale pays no attention to the other guests and trudges over to a table. Together with his brother, you follow him and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
So yeah, people are mad because we let the bad guys in. At least some dwarves couldn't defend the land. Girdle guard? Girdle guard. Man, that's hard. It's actually not. To the neighboring table. Why is that particularly strange that we are here now? Got so many questions. Oh, I wouldn't mind some ale from you to my two friends. How about a round on me? Did two travels pass this way? One Tamius, the other guy, the other mercenary. Okay. Let's ask some questions and then we drink some beer.
Muttered something about
That's a good-
groundlings.
And why is it so strange that we're here?
The man glances up briefly and then stares drunkenly at his tankard and mutters with a slur,
Don't play the innocent. The orcs are terrorizing our lands. And whose fault is it? You let them in.
I was not at the stone gateway, and I don't know what happened. But you can be sure of one thing. Dwarves would never cooperate with orcs. We kill them no sooner than we say them, or my name isn't Boindle Doubleblade.
The drunkard and his neighbour are given a start. They mumble an apology and turn their attention to the beer in front of them.
Let's just get around on me.
You stand up and turn to the room.
This round's on me.
The faces of the guests and the landlord brighten up immediately. The landlord gets to work pulling everyone a beer and handing out the tankards. Some of the guests say cheers to you as they get their drinks.
So, now we can ask them this question. I hope they will
The two
answer it.
travellers passed this way. One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke.
Suspicious.
Come on now, tell us what happened. We're all friends here.
The man who was going to speak the first time round looks over to his neighbour, who nods.
2 travelers spent the night here. One had a robe on, the other was a mercenary. The next day they left, all in a hurry. Said they'd been attacked by an elf.
One of the other drinkers finds his voice too.
There was a hell of a lot of noise that night. As if there'd been a dust-up.
You left some gold here for the trouble. I thought they meant the noise, but then I noticed the broken window.
The landlord sighs.
Please don't tell anyone else about this. Who would want to spend a night in a tavern where an elf has been sighted?
And this elf, out of all of them, show me what you have for sale. Okay. Oh, yes, let us buy everything basically. Oh, we need to fight. We need gold. Okay, let's sleep, and then we'll
We're tired
continue on.
and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern and then head off on your way again.
This feels like a tabletop, like Dungeons and Dragons game a lot, right? Because of the map and basically everything is just kind of like spoken out and stuff like that. Let's take this route and see if we can actually get to the dwarf merchant. Nope. Why? Why is he running away from us? Come here. Okay, let's go to this.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene. The sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
Sure.
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work. I can offer you 100 gold pieces.
What happened to your arm?
A stupid accident. A box of blanks fell down. I was trying to catch it. It will heal, fortunately, but I won't be able to wield my hammer for a while.
You must have quite a backlog of work.
You nod sympathetically. You always felt bad if you were ill or couldn't work in the forge for some reason or other.
Loads. But if what I hear about the metalworking skills of the dwarves is true, it would be easy for you to manage it in a day.
Sure is. Alright.
I'll help you. I worked in a forge for a while.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime. A little later, you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job as well as he can with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindle declared. But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer. But you don't care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element, and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago, with a satisfied grin on his face.
Right, I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist, and you didn't notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man. He sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to 2 horses.
Those 2, in 1 hour.
Sure, we can do that. And Herzapols, thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry I missed it. I probably was on my break right there. But thank you, man. Thank you so much for the follow. It means a lot to me. I've only started streaming like, I don't know, like 2 months ago. And I had to take like a 3-week break in between. So I'm just like kind of like getting back into it. So I really do appreciate the follow, man. What's the deal with the horses? You want me to shoot these horses? No problem. Yeah, let's
Continue
just...
chewing. Oh, no problem.
The man doesn't look convinced, but you get to work with confidence after examining the horses' hooves. 2 more armed men are standing next to the horses, sizing you up.
Talk to the man. Or should we watch the man secretly while we work? Maybe we should do that.
You concentrate on the work. The only sound you hear is the melodic beat of the hammer against the anvil. You keep track of the armed men out of the corner of your eyes. You suspect they are mercenaries. While you're fitting the 3rd horseshoe, another armed man enters the forge and speaks in hushed tones with the leader of the group.
He's the only one here.
The man nods in your direction, and you quickly shift your attention back to the work. You play it cool and complete the work. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word.
Talk to them.
So, you're mercenaries, I take it?
You're only trying to engage in conversation, but the man looks at you incredulously, as if he didn't expect dwarves to be able to talk.
Something like that.
Got lots of work? Oh, do you know anything about the armies of orcs from the south?
We can't complain.
The man's tone makes it clear that the conversation has ended here. You carry out the work in silence. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes.
Once again?
The men leave the workshop without a word.
Oh, it's just the end of this. Follow the men in secret. Or concentrate on the rest of my work. I want to follow them. They're shady. They're hella shady.
The men join a larger group of horsemen, more than a dozen, outside the village. You stay hidden and listen.
Not here in the village. Go. Search the road between here and Clintal again.
The other mercenaries nod and the group rides off. You can't make head nor tail of what's going on here, but you don't like it. You tell the twins about your encounter, and they decide to be especially vigilant over the next days. You spend the night in the smith's house and move on the next morning.
Okay. So where is this town that they spoke of? Flintale? Flintale? Wait, why don't I see? There's Porista. Let's try to get to the merchant. Oh.
In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight.
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindil. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, you check the surrounding area, and be careful.
Okay.
You
Your
scan
surroundings.
the road and the woods on both sides. Apart from the twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, you can't hear or see anyone.
So let's examine the wagon.
The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar, but the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through.
Search for tracks on the ground.
You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon. hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides.
Enter the wagon.
The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different. It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large
New
wardrobe,
follower.
and next to the door on the left,
8-bit roots, thank you so much for the follow.
with rusty
Thank you,
metal
man.
hinges.
We do appreciate that. Is there a multiplayer? No, I don't think there is. And I'm also kind of curious if they will do a second game, if this one is kind of successful, about the second book. And if they will do it like the same, or if they will add multiplayer or something like that. I don't think they have it planned, and I don't think there's anything like this. It would be cool though, I think. So we're going to examine all of the
The
things.
smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest.
But I think if you're interested in kind of like this game, or at least the fighting style of this game, then Divinity Original Sin 2 should be your thing. I mean, it's more like a turn-based battle, but yeah, they can do like multiplayer.
You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle. You try to work out what has soaked the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more. Lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf, headless. His head has been cut clean from his neck. The dwarf is wearing clothes that look more like human robes, and bears no coat of arms that would identify his kingdom. You didn't know him, but no one deserves to die like this.
I'm in the dwarf's court.
His head is being cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen.
I don't even know what happens. This information in the book. I'm not sure. I know who killed him, but I don't know what happens or why that happened.
As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat.
Take the loot and the food.
You take the loot. You can't play, but an instrument like this is worth good gold.
Take the food.
You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days.
I like the system that you need the provisions to kind of like keep on playing.
You give a short, sharp whistle, and
Kinda
the
cool.
twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon, beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow Rock have something to do with this.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well.
Obviously.
You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
Ooh. Wait, I didn't want to do that. Game. Oh, that's just a cloud. I was like, is it misty? It's just a normal merchant, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens at this. Okay, let's save, because we don't know if the game will crash anytime soon, once again. So let's save. Better
You
safe
come
than
across
sorry.
an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed and a straw hat is covering his face.
Ask the young man about the mercenaries.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries. Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer, what's in it for me?
30 gold pieces, perhaps? How about that? You hold on to your legs? That doesn't sound too bad, does it? We could also ask the farm owner if you prefer. I don't want to give him gold, obviously. So let's just threaten him a little bit, because
You draw your axe, and a moment later, the twins do the same. They seem to realize what your plan is.
We don't have much time. Speak.
The man glares at you angrily. He toys with the idea of throwing something at your head, but finally responds with demonstrative composure. Northwards. They rode northwards, he says. Boindale grins, and you two are satisfied with your bully boy tactics. You put your axes away and continue on your journey, while the young man watches you with a defiant air.
ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Goragar. Oh, we're in Newton. Oh, there is Clint Hall. Okay, so let's save this before the game crashes once again. Continue and go.
The first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is. There is hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer. Boindale draws his axes, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
I love his weapon, by the way. Boindal's weapon, Raven's Beak, is so amazing.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, men enter the square from the left and the right,
Not
cutting
good.
off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Are you going to kill us just like you did the trader? That's a good question.
Are you going to kill us just like you killed the traveling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us? You damn murderers! Murderers? Come here, dwarf killer!
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind, in cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
What? We're dwarves, and dwarves would never do anything like this to another dwarf. We found Mort's body and we are looking for his killers. So you saw us do it, didn't intervene, and then set us a trap a few days later in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, option 3.
So apparently, you saw us committing murder, but you didn't
Sarcasm.
intervene? And then you overtook us, and only set a trap for us now, and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened. Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
We knew that the good people of Clinton would stand by us in confronting you. Mort was well known and respected around here.
But how did you know that we would come to Clintel of all places? If you were really tracking us, that wouldn't have been possible. But if you, on the other hand, were the ones being tracked, then it would have been easy for you to steer us into this trap.
He does have a point, Medarin. Why did you...
The village elder stops mid-sentence as the leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. The village elder turns from the mercenary to look at you, and then gives his men a signal to withdraw.